I'm John Katz. We're here at Bedlam Farm with Izzy and Lenore and Rose, who are running around, and will make their camera appearances. I'm an author and a photographer. I've written 20 books. The last book was Soul of a Dog, and my next book is a novel called Rose in a Storm. And I take a bunch of pictures and have a website, bedlamfarm.com. When I came to Bedlam Farm and I started writing about dogs, I realized I needed a website and I needed some way to integrate what I was doing into the internet. The writing world is changing, and if you want to be a writer, you can't hold up in your writer's retreat anymore and just have a cup of coffee and agonize. You have to get out there and get your story out. So I kept hearing about Mannix from one or two people. A friend of mine who had put up a website with them. I think he'd had a business in Lake George. And he said, they're just amazing. He said, they actually talk to you and they listen to you and they're available and they kind of get what you're doing. So I met with them, and I was kind of startled because we went in this conference room and they just asked me what I was doing. They didn't ask much about the internet. They asked me what I was doing. And I had this feeling they just got it. And so they came up with this bedlamfarm.com. And then the website just took off. And I was getting, 30-some thousand hits a day there, and still do sometimes. And it just, the whole thing just mushroomed. And the thing that's great about it, I still don't know how it works really. I'm not really into that. And I just call them up and whine, and they just take care of it. And I feel like I'm talking to my family. I really do. I'm not just saying that. I feel like I'm talking to friends who know what I'm doing, and better than my publisher did. And when I went on my book tour last year, I actually did a kind of revolutionary book tour. I'm doing an even more revolutionary one next year because of this process. Mannix got me onto Facebook. They called me up and said, look, this social media stuff, you should just be aware of it. And for very little money, they hooked me up to Facebook and hooked me up to Twitter, neither of which I was eager to get on particularly. And they integrated them all. So the website flows into one and flows into the other and back. And on my book tour, I would start posting, okay, I'm going to Seattle. And I put up on Facebook and on Twitter. And at the beginning of the book tour, I was getting maybe 75, 100 people. And by the end of the book tour, I was getting 300 and 400 people. And they were all saying they were seeing it on Facebook. They were telling their friends, they were telling their family. So my publisher called me up after this book tour. That's an amazing book tour. You had crowds everywhere. You sold a ton of books. Well, we keep hearing about your website. So this is a remarkable tool for a writer now, because I have a method of now, a means of getting my story out. And I also have a means of promoting my work. And if you're going to be a writer today, or a business person, or anything, an artist, a painter, you have to get your story out. You just have to do it. But the website has been an amazing chronicle of my life and of my work. And it has grown with me, and my work has grown with it. I'm not really into doing promos for things. I don't do very many of them. In fact, I don't do any of them. It's the first one I've ever done. But I'm happy to do it because I think, I tell my friends who are writers all the time, find people like this and they will help you survive and prosper. I recommend Mannix Marketing enthusiastically to anybody who wants to figure out their life, their work, and the internet. They will help you do it.
Hey, Lenore. No licking the camera. No licking the camera.